don't think it's your boy Hank. Welcome to the show. Considering what was having a wonderful day on this 3rd of September. If I had a air in my mouth. Um, I am exhausted, but I wanted to do a last video before I go to sleep. Today is the last day for us to be watching Prison Break, but I got some good news. Review wise, we are at season 4, episode 4, and viewing wise, we are at season 4, episode 10. So this morning, very early, 1:21 a.m., I'm gonna be taking advantage of this little time and space to come here and do already, wow. I'm gonna come on here to be doing some recap of the episode. Of course, I'm gonna be doing season 4, episode 4. This is my last video before I go to sleep, so kind of like, I got neighbors. Kind of excited to do that. We're doing this. Gonna hear me whispering, which is sort of an ASMR, indirectly, but more so being respectful to my neighbors. It is kind of cold tonight, so most people will have their window closed. But if you're me, you have your windows open and you hear a guy talk. So, here's the really good part. We have Sarah and Michael talking. So, Sarah talks about how Lincoln has been worried about Michael because he has a nosebleed, anything like that. And this is the important part. Sucre is in the background and overhears. Why is that important? Well, because Sucre will talk about that later on. And the writing on this season is pretty good. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited. You excited? Are you excited? I'm excited that you're excited. We also got really far with the tower, so that's absolutely phenomenal, right? So, we're looking for the next one. We're looking for the next card holder. We know there's 6. We have one of them. We know that he is a big part of I think it's the Iraqi government, but I'm not sure. And the best thing is we have one of my favorite characters, which is Teabag. Teabag was insanely cool because he's practicing himself to be co-fifer. See, it's kind of complex because you never know what Teabag thinks. He is really unique. So is he wanting to be co-fifer and have a decent job, or does he want to get to the book of what Scylla is? And I don't think he wants to see Scylla because he knows how dangerous it is. There's this big part, right? We know that the husband is the guy in charge of the Iraqi embassy, but it's actually his wife. So they get close to the husband, and the husband doesn't have a card. So this is kind of nuts. This is also super important. So they have to get close to the wife. This is also super important because we have Lincoln, who's been made by this guy. This guy from the guard. This could be important for later on. So see, this is good because you hear me complaining a lot about Prison Break, right? Oh my God, they should have done this, they should have done that, blah 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 blah. But the reality is, something like that is perfect. You establish a detail that he's been made, he's been recognized, right? Now, this is not the important detail. This is nothing that is important. It is important in the grand scheme of things, but slowly but surely, it is not that important. Here's why it's not important, and this is something that's gonna blow your mind, because he's been made, could have done nothing, and in the end, the small amount of what it means is next to nothing, you know. So, but it's still a nice detail, right? So they follow her. Now, here's the coolest part about it. You hear a talk of the general. The general is the old man. There you go. This is the talk. The general and her talk about how she has to keep up appearance and how the deal is still on, but she has to keep up appearance, so she'll go to an event of Eagle and Angel. Eagle and Angel is what? Eagle and Angel, and this ladies and gentlemen, is gonna be so fucking important. You have no idea what's going on, and I didn't know either. But because I saw further in the story, see, most of the shows you don't want to watch too much, but in this one, when you watch too much, doing a recap is fantastic. Um, More of people treating him like shit for some reason, and it kind of sucks because you're like, what the? Everybody's treating him like shit. So this guy, spoiler, will betray the group, right? And you're like, oh my god, what an asshole. No, he's not an asshole. You guys have been treating him like shit every single opportunity that you have. And like, wait, oh, we're not homies? No, bro, we're not homies. You've been a douche the whole time. I'm not homie with you. And it makes sense, right? So now you got this guy, and as he's talking, like I said, he's doing this. Now, this is super, 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 super important. You see, and at the end of the, like I said, this is talk, right? And at the ending, he's playing with a bill, so it's a money bill, and the money bill is actually quite interesting because you don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. It's just a paper bill, and he's like, "Whoa, this guy is rich. What's he doing with that paper bill particularly?" It's a fake. It's a fake. One of the first thing they do is counterfeit money. I'm exhausted, so my nervous system goes crazy. My nervous system goes haywire. I have a hard time speaking. I'm gonna scratch a lot. Your body is uncomfortable while they're like asleep. So they're counterfeiting money is important. You have this, right? And this is the whole crew, right? And this again is why this episode is the one that I start saying, okay, oh yeah. Prison Break is great, right? So they go to the meet together, but there's a triangle formation, which Mahone say, hey, you don't go there. These are military. This is the elite. This is what the elite does, is formation. So don't do it. However, they do meet Teabag. They meet Teabag. So the whole scene is important because we meet Teabag. Teabag is brilliant because he drops the book. He won the book. So again, super interesting. We got Mr. Wyatt, well, this is his name, Wyatt, was talking about to the guy. He said, hey, I got a clue on Sarah Tancredi. And he's like, yeah, don't waste your time on Tancredi. We don't want her, we want Schofield. And the general's like, he says that, and Wyatt's like, yeah, but she'll lead us to Schofield. Which is, again, great if we didn't have this conversation with Kellerman, you know? So it's repeated content. It's super repeated. Got more of Lori Grime. And it's nice. It's a nice scene because she feels guilty about the death of Bennett, right? She tells a very sweet story how, and this is why this is such a good writing, but this is such a bad scene because it's overacted. So in this scene, we know her father wasn't around much. We went to go see this musical, and Bennett was there. So this is the first memory in which she has of him that is super nice. But it's overacted, so it feels very theatrical, you know. And you don't need to. You got Cole Pfeiffer beating, and I'm gonna take a couple of seconds, okay? I'm gonna go here, right? I'm gonna do a couple of magic trick, okay? I'm gonna go in the speed, and I'm gonna go at 0.5, and I'm gonna be watching the scene with you guys, right? Here's the scene. Teabag is planted as always, but that's not really what I want to focus on. Let me take an handkerchief. Yeah, okay. Cool. That's not what I want to focus on. It's gonna come in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action. Okay, if it was at 1 time the speed, it would work, but hey, what do I know? Here is the scene in question. there you go. Why is that scene so important? I just felt like showing you a scene of the great show, so why not, right? You're gonna fault me for that? How dare you? Next we have, and this is really, really, really cool. So, yeah, the scene because she's hot. Hmm? We have Teabag getting into the office of Cole Pfeiffer, and he's putting himself here. It's like, okay, what's next? And it's cool because he says, "What's next, Wessler?" So there's a reason, and there's a couple of really, really important things that he says. The guy that welcoming is doubtful of their teabag, and the guy that welcoming is a good actor because you can already tell, like, there's something about his face, the reaction, the facial expression, like, oh, I don't like you. And then teabag goes in, and he's like, okay, and he says, here's your corner, the office, as you ask. There's a reason why he has that office, right? So Michael is asking for help for himself, but at the same time, Self is like, no, I'm in charge here. There's constantly a battle of authority with Michael and Self. Michael's like, this is my group, but Self's like, yeah, but this is my mission, bro. So they mentioned Eagle and Angel, and Mahone is the one that says, hey, you know what it is. And Mahone was the police, so it makes sense. We got more of Wyatt coming in and actually chasing Sarah. Good people stealing Magnet, which is, this is what it is. It's magnets. Now, this also is important because we just saw a scene of Sarah being very pressured, right? So when she goes to a bar, you're afraid that she's gonna drink. But going to the bar is the next step, and Wyatt's plan. Going to the bar is gonna be important. So this whole scene of Michael and Sarah being over dramatic actually serves a purpose. I don't care if the scene is not great. It serves a purpose. Understand? Yeah. I'm not an actor, so whenever I complain, I'm not an actor. This is good because this is the guy who meets, right? So this is the guy who's got on the phone. This is the guy that wanted to meet Cole Pfeiffer, and this is his right-hand man. Him, he sounds like a dumbass, but him actually pictured Teabag as a bad guy. And it's like something about you, you know?
And hopefully some of the rest of the sales force learn that they do.
Yeah. It's super good. And already he's asking you questions like, how come I never heard of you? It's like, well, when you believe as much as I do in a product, we don't need to learn to sell it. It just sells itself. Which is super fucking nice. Super fucking nice. You got Teabag who right away, look at this, what he says. Look what he said. He tells that he doesn't like him. So now, he's able to see the office. You see the 122 B, and you know that this is the office. This 122B. So you know that this is part of the plan. Sarah is dealing with it a lot, and she goes out for a drink. Now this is actually a really good scene. This is a really good scene. So she goes for a drink, and she's very like down. She's not feeling great. She's not feeling herself. She's not feeling her clever girl, right? So she talks to the barmaid, and the barmaid's like, "How much time have you been a recovering?" And it's like, "Oh, 3 years." So Sarah will ask for a drink, and the server's like, "Are you sure?" And she'll help her out. However, you meet this guy, and this guy, it's very well written, because this guy, right? This guy, he's a dirtbag. He's a dirtbag since the get-go, and you don't trust him, right? However, guess what? He serves a great purpose. So basically, what they do is they steal a card. He steals the card from Bennett, and what was Wyatt using? He was using the card of Bennett to locate Sarah. So by the other guy stealing it, Wyatt will follow him and not Sarah. So again, great stuff here. You got Sean, who see this guy on the floor. Now this guy on the floor is actually quite important because this is the informant that he had. It's like, oh no, they killed him, which means that they're possibly aware that we're looking out for them. Really good stuff. You you got the guy leaving, and this is what's insanely cool. Insanely cool. The door is locked. So what they do? They unhinged the door, which I don't know why it made me laugh. It's kind of nice, you know. This is some of the problem that I have with the show. So, for example, listen, they go into there, right? And they look at boxes, and Michael, oh, you see the first box that you see. The first box you see, guess what? He finds them. And I'm like, bruh. But they disguise himself as police officer, right? And that's super cool. Michael gets questioned, but like, hey, this is my friend that died, so please have some respect, right? We got more talk, and the barmaid just has the back of Sarah, and I love the barmaid. And the barmaid is so fucking cool. Like, they can really tell that she has a lot of life experience, and she's a great character. She just goes in and is like, okay, well, I know exactly what you've been. And this is the classic talk of why barmaid. See, this is insane. When you live a little bit of life, and a little bit of experience, you realize how important three people are: barbers, barmen, and tattoo artists. Because they know shit. You'll talk to them, right? You possibly won't talk to your doctor, because it's like, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. Your tattoo artist is like, oh, well. He's like, stop moving, I'm not doing, you know? So yeah, that's pretty much it. So they give the speech, and they get close to Lisa. The next scene is gonna be one of the best effing scene in the whole show. This is brilliant writing. So they have a funeral, right? And they're like, I want to take the time to say sorry, to say goodbye to the people we miss, and take a second of silence. So you see three people overacting, not overacting, sorry, reacting. Mahone thinks about his family and his kids and his wife, and he's sad. Lincoln think about his dad, right? And the grave that they dig. So it's super nice. And this is supposed to show like all those people are missing someone. All those people lost someone. So it's quite nice. It's a beautiful scene. So lately like it. But in the scene next, he's been made. This guy recognized Lincoln, and guess what? It makes sense. This scene would have been perfect. He recognized Lincoln, and he's been made. Why is this scene perfect? Okay, because Lincoln uses the hat as a... But he takes off the hat to say, hey, pay respect. Because he takes off the hat as a disguise, he uses the hat. Because he takes off the hat, he gets made, right? So he tells the guys, hey, I've been made, I have to go. Why is that not a perfect scene? There's one little detail that fucked it up. They show a flashback of the guy recognizing Lincoln, which is important, right? Shockwave is actually pretty doing, guys. Shockwave is doing wow, damn, dude. Shockwave is doing well, dude. Why is it not perfect? That's a very good question. Well, okay, let's just put it that way. It's not a flashback, it's the same episode. I saw this 10 minutes ago, bro. I think I could... I don't know. Maybe I'm special need. Maybe I'm special, but Get somebody texting me. Somebody texting me. Ooh. And she's... Oh. If you guys knew who just texted me, whoa. Yeah, so I remember the scene. Oh, not so much, but a little bit, right? And that's nice. Now this is some of the greatest. Dude, okay. I'm sorry, guys. You see me getting excited, and there's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, the tower is picking up, and we're doing super good. I'm gonna be annoying with the tower, but guess what? If you're not happy, you can... What's what I'm looking for? Leave, yeah. See, that's what I'm looking for, right? I got this gorgeous girl who's texting me. I'm chatting with her. She's pretty freaking cool. And this is just good writing, right? So Lincoln gets made and he gets arrested. Now this is a really good scene because the guard doesn't say, "Hey, I remember you. You were looking. What are you doing here?" He says, "Lincoln mother effing Burrow." The motherfucking was added for dramatic purposes. They're acting dramatic. Let me be dramatic. And what happened is Lincoln is getting beat up. Bellick comes in and stabbed the guard. Bellick never killed anybody, so that's new for him, right? And now the guys inside are picking are freaking out. It's like, what if we guard get killed? We have to go. We have to go. And then the police, which is Michael, and this guy said, "No, you have to stay with us. This is dangerous. Well, I'll protect her." So the other guard's like, "Okay, no problem. I'll go see what's up." Because Michael is next to her, he records the card. See? Great writing. Great writing. Great writing. We got more of Wyatt. You got more of Wyatt torturing Gretchen. And it's kind of insane because there's a couple of things. He puts, and this is actually a really good scene, because he puts a bucket of feces. He says it's funny because the nose is able to analyze some smell. Chemically speaking, some of those smells are smelling good. You talk about coffee. Coffee smells delicious. Then some of those smells repulse us. Sickness, death, feces. So this is something that's kind of freaking cool. Now, there's a very cool scene with Mahone. Mahone just comes in, and Mahone's like, "Yo," he used a special code, which proved that he's a law enforcement. He says, "Oh, there's a DOA. What's a DOA? Death on action? I don't know, because MIA is missing in action. DOA is possibly death of action." Now, here's the craziest thing. He gets a call, and Wyatt gets a call, and somebody tells him Sarah has been using his card in this bar. So this is why this show is amazing. He comes in and say, "Hey, did you see this girl?" And she's like, "No, I don't see her. I didn't see her." And the reality is she did. She's protecting Sarah. Now, here's a couple of things that could be construed from the show. So a couple of things that you could say, "Oh, you know what? That makes sense." She just got flirted with a douchebag from the bar. A. B. This guy comes in, it's like, "Oh, I'm looking for this one." Right? But then, why does that seem so important? Mahone will come for the bar and says, "Hey, I'm looking for her." And you know what he says? The last time we found her, she had a broken jaw. She ran away from this guy. And he showed a picture of the black guy, which is Wyatt, that came in. And the barmaid, she helps him. Why? Because the barmaid thinks or believes that Mahone wants to help Sarah. So she's not helping Mahone, she's helping Sarah, which is great. Do you see here? The general is holding a paper, a money. You don't know what it is. However, it's counterfeited. We realize this later on. Now, Saif Don. I'm just gonna call him Don. Because I like you know what? I like the name Don. I actually like the name Don. I'm not sure as to why. My uncle, his name is Donald. But I don't like the name Donald. Maybe it's Don Corleone. Maybe. Donnie. I like Donnie. Don is a cool name. What are they saying? See, so Safe is like, "Yo," Don's like, "Yo, we got some of our men, right? A lot of people are getting killed." And I think the show is supposed to is trying to make us sad. However, I see it as people are dying left and right. We're on the right track, and we need to continue. So now, Cole is studying his things, which is actually pretty good. There's a counter writing, which is Singh. Singh was the buyer of Sila. And so this Singh is this guy, right? And this one is the boss. This one we saw him already. I think it's season 2, but he was a close representative of Caroline. So now we finally got the picture. This is the great things. We got the pictures enhanced, so you can see exactly what it is. So there's 2 card down out of 6. And we're episode number 4, so it's actually kind of really cool. There's a really nice scene between Lincoln and Bellick, Lincoln's like, yo, you saved my ass back then. I want you to realize that. Why is this scene so important? Billick just killed a man. Billick never killed before. Billick feels bad about killing. But Lincoln says, you saved me. I don't know if you understand, but you saved my ass, bro. So, greatness and shit. This is possibly one of the best scenes that I think. I'm telling you, episode 1 and 2, and possibly 3 a little bit, wasn't great. But episode 4, Mahone comes in, and guess what? I stopped watching at episode 4 last night. Last night, which is not yesterday, but the day before, because I woke up at 2:00 p.m. And he said, "Hey, I need you to find a guy for me." And the guy says, "Why would I do that for you?" The actor, Mahone, says he's the guy that killed my son. The actor's like, "Okay, I got you," which I thought was really nice. Sarah calls Michael, and this is really cool because this is a really good scene. Michael calls her and says, "Hey, I miss you. You're the only one that keeps on holding me. You're the only one that makes any sense to me." Why is that a good scene? Because the next scene is Wyatt, who is literally feet away from Sarah. So you think that Sarah's gonna get killed? Now, I'm telling you right now, I don't know, I'm at season 4, episode 10. If Sarah gets killed again, I'm gonna be pissed. Why? Because you told me she was dead once. Yeah. So don't do it again, okay? I'm gonna go bathroom, I'll be right back. I'll do it in the part.